In the tenebrous depths of the underworld, where the river Styx flowed with an eerie luminescence, there lived a formidable guardian named Menoetes. As the protector of Hades' prized cattle, he stood as an indomitable sentinel, his presence casting a shadow of fear upon all who dared to approach. Menoetes' appearance was as imposing as his reputation. His massive frame, covered in thick, matted fur, towered over the underworld's inhabitants. His eyes, glowing with an infernal fire, pierced through the darkness, instilling terror in the hearts of the damned. His sharp claws and jagged teeth were capable of tearing through flesh with ease, making him a formidable adversary. As the guardian of Hades' cattle, Menoetes' primary duty was to prevent any unauthorized access to the herd. The cattle, with their gleaming black hides and glowing red eyes, were a symbol of Hades' wealth and power. They grazed in a secluded meadow, their presence a constant reminder of the underworld's dominion over the living. Menoetes patrolled the perimeter of the meadow with unwavering vigilance. His keen senses detected the slightest disturbance, and his thunderous roar sent shivers down the spines of those who dared to trespass. He was relentless in his pursuit of intruders, his massive form crashing through the undergrowth with the force of a hurricane. One fateful night, as Menoetes stood guard, he sensed a faint rustling in the shadows. His eyes narrowed, and his claws extended as he cautiously approached the source of the disturbance. To his surprise, he found a young mortal woman, lost and terrified, wandering aimlessly through the underworld. The woman's name was Eurydice, and she had been searching for her beloved husband, Orpheus, who had ventured into the underworld to retrieve her from the clutches of death. Menoetes, moved by her desperation, hesitated for a moment. He knew that allowing a mortal into Hades' domain was forbidden, but something about Eurydice's plight stirred a flicker of compassion within him. With a deep growl, Menoetes allowed Eurydice to pass, warning her to stay close to him and to make no attempt to escape. As they made their way through the underworld, Menoetes' presence protected Eurydice from the horrors that lurked in the shadows. He fought off monstrous creatures and guided her through treacherous paths, his loyalty unwavering. Finally, they reached the meadow where Hades' cattle grazed. Eurydice's eyes widened in awe at the sight of the magnificent beasts, but Menoetes remained vigilant, his claws poised to strike at any sign of danger. As Orpheus approached, his lyre in hand, Menoetes recognized the musician's divine power. He lowered his claws and allowed Orpheus to pass, knowing that the music of the lyre held sway over even the darkest of realms. Orpheus' music filled the meadow with a celestial melody, its enchanting notes soothing the savage beasts and calming the restless spirits. Eurydice, overcome with joy, ran into her husband's arms. Menoetes watched the reunion with a sense of satisfaction, knowing that he had played a small part in their happiness. As Orpheus and Eurydice prepared to leave the underworld, Menoetes stood guard once more, ensuring their safe passage. He watched as they ascended the path that led to the living world, their voices fading into the distance. A sense of peace washed over him as he returned to his post, his duty fulfilled. From that day forward, Menoetes remained the guardian of Hades' cattle, his legend whispered among the inhabitants of the underworld. He was known as a fierce protector, but also as a creature capable of compassion and loyalty. And so, in the depths of the underworld, Menoetes stood as a symbol of both the darkness and the light that could be found even in the most desolate of realms.